All right. Good day, everybody. It is Tuesday, June the 14th, 2022. Today's headline hits with LW is brought to you by Miles Franklin. Um, Silver is under $22 an ounce right now. Still a great time to buy if you guys want to get your hands on some of it. You can go to info@milesfranklin.com. Use promo code Liberty Warrior Nation. You'll get a discount with that. It helps this channel out as well. Like I said, under $22 an ounce is what I just checked this morning. So still a great buy. If you guys haven't got your hands on any of it yet, you could do that. Info@milesfranklin.com. All right. Disclaimer right now. I'm going to let you guys know the first two topics that I'm going to talk about this morning and the headlines, pretty graphic. If you guys have children in the room, probably not something they should hear. Um, Also, a disclaimer: it's pretty disturbing. I'm gonna try not to go into too much detail, but I have to give you guys a warning to parents out there. So many parents out there, pay attention to what your kids are watching and listening to because there is some really evil stuff out there. And let's talk about it. Hollywood. Let's talk about some of the performing artists, especially Christina Aguilera. Well, she was in LA this week, and let's talk about it. Christina Aguilera performed at the LA Pride Week performance. It's a festival, it's a music festival. She wore a costume, and I'm going to give you the details of this costume. So be prepared for what I'm about to say. It's pornographic in nature. It's pretty bad. So she wore a costume on stage, a bodysuit that makes her have big biceps, a six pack, a chest like a man. So she's dressed basically in costume like a man, like a male. But to top it all off, she also has something strapped around her waist that's hanging down. I think you guys can connect the dots. I don't think I have to go into too much graphic detail, but basically, she has male genitalia hanging from her waist with a strap on. Okay. Why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up because not only is she wearing this, but as she's on stage performing, and I watched the video. It's on Twitter. It's on Breitbart. If you guys have the stomach for it, she gets on stage. She's singing a very provocative song, and she grabs this appendage, and she starts to masturbate with it. Now, there's also another performer on stage, and I'm not going to read the article too much here because it's just so graphic. There's another performer on stage that is a female. She gets on her knees and she reaches up and touches this prop as well. So this LA Pride Music Festival was on Saturday. I want you guys as parents to realize that this was focused toward all ages. So this means that this festival in Los Angeles, the Los Angeles Daily News describes as an all ages LA Pride in the Park music festival to celebrate the LGBTQ plus community. That's what I want to bring to your attention. So you've got children there that are from the ages of who knows, adolescent ages, middle school, junior high, high school, going to a performance like this with these kinds of artists on the stage, putting this kind of performance on. It's super disturbing. And as a parent, I wouldn't allow my children to listen to Christina Aguilera or Kim Petras either. She was the other performing artist. Now, she even put video out, she put photos out about how proud she was to be on stage with Christina Aguilera. It's on her Instagram page as well, her touching the prop while she's on her knees performing in front of all these kids. So, listen, folks, another warning for you guys. The stuff that's going on in our kids' world that some of us parents may not be aware of. I can tell you right now, there's music out there that is just as perverted as what these kids seen on stage. The lyrics is horrible. I think as parents, we need to really be censoring what our children are seeing and hearing because it's out there. What does our government think about all this stuff? What are some of our elected officials? What do they think about stuff like this? Well, for example, the drinker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, on RuPaul's Drag Race. Our freedom of expression of ourselves in drag is what America is all about, end quote, from Nancy, two drinks in Pelosi. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi asserted that men freely expressing themselves in drag is what America is all about, making the remarks during an appearance on the seventh season of Rand Paul's or RuPaul's Drag Race. Now, in it's my honor to be here to say that all of you, how we proud we are of you. Oh boy, I think when she made that comment, she was drunk. Let me reread that because that wasn't misspeaking. Uh, my honor to be here to say to all of you how we proud we are of you. That is two drinks in. She's spot on. She's very proud. What I want to bring up in this article, you can catch it in Breitbart, is at the end of her appearance on stage, she makes comment. And I repeat, she makes comment, quote, God bless America, end quote. They all clapped for her, and she mocked God and said, can I get an amen? Really, Nancy? That is not how I think God perceives America. All right, next article. Let's talk about guns in the hands of our teachers. What's your thoughts on that? What's your opinion on armed teachers? Because Governor Mike DeWine signs bill allowing armed teachers in Ohio schools. Now, before people freak out, hold on and let me finish reading the article. All right. Governor Mike signed legislation on Monday to allow school staff and teachers to be armed for classroom defense. On June 4th, 2022, Breitbart News reported that Ohio lawmakers had expedited legislation to arm teachers following the May 24th, 2022 Uvalde, Texas school shooting. He also made it clear that he would sign the legislation on Channel 10 WBNS, noted that him saying that that's our commitment to our schools, to our parents, and to our students. Now, before you guys get all excited about this, the new law lovers, the required training hours for armed teachers personnel they reduced it from 700 hours to 4 scenario-based training hours, plus a maximum of 20 hours of first aid training and history of school shootings and reunification education. So the New York Times notes that legislation does not force schools to arm teachers. Schools that do not want staff or teachers armed can still bar them from carrying guns for classroom defense. Now, that's the end of the article. Like I said, just because they signed it into legislation does not mean that they're forcing teachers or they're forcing schools or school administration to allow teachers in the classroom with sidearms on their person. Now, how do you guys feel about that? Do you guys think that that's a good idea for teachers to be armed in the classroom? Me personally, kind of on the fence about it. I think in certain circumstances, there would be some really good teachers with good common sense that would have really good gun handling skills. Probably not a bad idea. But there are other teachers out there that I would say I wouldn't want them to have any kind of firearm in the classroom. Now, is that stereotyping? I don't know. I think there are some people that should be maybe qualified, but others that shouldn't. So just a thought. I'm just curious on what your opinion is. All right, here's something else that I wanted to bring to your attention. Reports West touts rejecting Russian oil while India, China, and others snap up the supply. What are they talking about? Well, remember that NATO and the rest of them put all kinds of restrictions on Russia for invading the Ukraine. And they thought that this was going to stop Russia. It's done the exact opposite. It's actually helped Russia. Don't forget that Russia has gold backed ruble currency right now, and it's some of the best currency around the world. They're thriving. It's not doing what they thought it would do. The United States and much of the West say that they are trying to wean themselves off of Russian oil, but India, China, and other Asian countries are snapping up the supply, according to an Associated Press, the AP article that was published on Monday. On June 8th, analysis from the Center of Strategic and International Studies explains why Russia is still benefiting from the lucrative oil and gas industries despite the virtue signaling from some nations. Well, the United States is one of those virtue signaling countries. So is the UK and the EU. It's not doing anything. Russia is selling their oil to India, to China, um, many Asian countries over there are gobbling this up. They're actually selling it for $30 to $35 below the Brent crude oil prices. So Brent crude, let me check real quick what it's set at, but it was hovering right around $118 a barrel just a couple of days ago. So subtract $30 to $35 from that, and that's what China and the rest of the world can pick up the Russian oil for right now, which it is it's a lot cheaper than what we're getting it for. So I can't seem to find my app. There it is. Okay, oil and gas. So right now, um, crude is setting at $122.23 a barrel. Um, believe that's Brett. So $30 to $35 under that. So you're looking at $85, $90 a barrel is what China and Asia is picking that oil up for right now. Of course, they're going to gobble it up. They're going to grab as much of that oil as they possibly can. So just something I thought I would throw out there, that Russia is still making money. They're still funding their military. 40% of what they sell in oil exports funds their military. If you didn't know that. All right, next headline. Let's talk about this. It's been all over the news. Day 2 of the J6 committee public hearings attack Trump for doubting the election. Yeah, you can't make this stuff up. The second day of public hearings of the House Select Committee to investigate the J6 attack on the U.S. State Capitol, which I have to disagree. It was not an attack. Was held on Monday and focused on attacking then President Donald Trump for questioning the 2020 election results. Why shouldn't he question it? Let's read a little bit more. The goal was to argue that Trump inspired those who stormed the Capitol. Oh, yeah, they just stormed right in there. Even though the door was locked from the inside by magnetic locks, those locks were unlocked. Door was open and people waved them on in. They really stormed that Capitol. And how he said that the election was, and I got to be careful about what I say here, but how the election was overturned. I can't say certain words or we'll get taken down. So he was saying that there was an illegitimate president that was being installed, and so they were trying to stop that certification. Um, I think we all have a pretty good idea about what happened on J6. And a lot of these people are absolutely lying about this stuff. The panel played depositions of various individuals who testified before the committee behind closed doors. Now, this is my problem with this article. Why did they do this behind closed doors? Why was this not done so that the public could see and hear everything that's going on? Why is everything done behind closed doors. Some of the people included testimonies from Jared Kushner, who is Trump's son-in-law, Attorney General Bill Barr, who else? Rudy Giuliani was supposed to have a deposition as well. So there were some people that behind closed door gave testimony on what happened on J6. So here's is the next headline that I wanted to bring to your attention because it ties together with what transpired on J6. Former Fox News editor, chances of winning Powerball greater than incorrect 2020 election projection. Now, remember, we all got fired up about this. Fox News, they went ahead and called Arizona before Arizona was complete. Former Fox News political editor Chris Streiwalt on Monday claimed that chances of winning the Powerball sweepstakes were greater than a wrong Fox News 2020 election projection. We're better off playing the Powerball than the 2020 election projection to have been wrong on November the 7th, 2020. So he is part of the J6 committee investigation. He's in there giving his deposition, giving his witness to everything that happened. Our decision desk was the best in the business, and I was very proud to be part of it. By the time everyone was losing their minds over this call, we were moving on to the other states. We asked who won the election. He made statement that Joseph Robin Biden Jr. from the great state of Delaware. That's what he told the committee. So it goes on to say that their polls were looking good coming out of Arizona. They were cooking and looking right. That's what they were looking for. So that's why they called Arizona. It goes further on to say what the results from 2020 actually concluded with, which Biden won 81,284,000. Listen to the last three numbers. Listen to the last three numbers. Biden supposedly won with 81,284,666 votes. Trump supposedly lost with 74,224,319 votes. So there you have it, folks. J6 committee is going on right now. We really need to pay attention to what's coming out in the news because we all know that behind closed doors, a lot of bad things happen and a lot of suspicious actions happen behind closed doors. All right, last article of the day. I'm just going to throw this at you real quick. Everybody is feeling the pain. Everybody knows what's going on. Biden inflation, is it in acceleration? So I saw this article today, and that's exactly what it said. Bidenflation, producer prices up 8.1% this last month. Prices charged by U.S. businesses were up 10.8% in May compared with a year ago. Now, what does that mean? What does this all mean? This means everybody who is producing product has paid an extra 10.8% above what they're already been paying as of last month. So if it costs $10 for them to purchase something to make a product, now it's costing them almost $10.11. Where does that price increase end up going to? It ends up going downhill to the consumer, which is you and I. For the sixth straight month, the government's producer price inflation gauge is running at or above 10% for the sixth straight month. Inflation is running rampant, folks. Gas prices, consumer prices are going out of this world crazy. I told you guys yesterday, a friend of mine went to fill up at the gas station an hour and a half south of me. Gas was at $5.04. When she went in to prepay, the lady told her, hurry up and go out, fill your tank because they're getting ready to change the sign. Gas jumped 11 cents yesterday at that gas station to $5.15 right here in Idaho. Now, this doesn't even include, just so you guys are aware of, in this article, it states that this number does not include, it excludes food, energy, and trading services. So, with 10.8% more in inflation for producers, that doesn't even include or touch any of the inflation that we're seeing with food, energy, and trade. So, remember, I think the last time we had Andy on, he said real inflation was running somewhere between 14 to 18%. I think that we're going to see that number continue to increase and probably break 20 here real soon. 20% inflation and go as high, probably above 30% is what I predict, because I don't see an end in sight for a lot of what's going on right here in America. There's no plan. I reported yesterday the current administration's only plan is to continue to produce E15 fuel for some cars. That is their answer to the inflation when it comes to energy independence now in America. So instead of us using the Keystone pipeline, instead of us fracking and drilling and getting the crude up out of the ground, we're going to rely on corn to solve our problems. That's it for today, folks. Don't forget tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Love y'all. Have a great day.